everyone. This is Lockdown Beers with Ricky, Lawrence and Willy and Hannah. It was quite a funny one tonight, so if you don't want to listen to the full thing, I'd probably skip through to after Willy's had a couple of cocktails, because he starts waffling quite a lot of nonsense, which is quite funny. So yeah, if you want to watch any more videos, subscribe to the channel, and we're going to be doing these every night with all different drifters from BDC.
How are we doing?
Hello.
Hey up.
You lucky bastard. I wish my car could live at my house.
Would be nice.
Only had him in his car today then.
Yeah.
My car's fucking 30 mile away.
It's where?
Right. Hey, what are you drinking?
I'm having a strawberry mojito.
He's just been for a jog, Steve, a bit of proper exercise, not like your electric bike.
But that's it.
It's too soon to start on this. Don't be. That's exercise for me. That's good for
Were
me.
you not out in the electric bike the other day too, Ricky?
Yeah.
32 miles in electric and 0.9 on foot.
Has yours got a motor on it, Ricky?
Yeah, but it's pedal assist. It's not like a.
That's what I say. It's not as easy as it sounds.
Oh, that's
it's not
exactly
as easy as it sounds.
easy out.
It's just a lot faster. It's not any easier, really.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm fit as a fiddle, me.
You're trying to get in good books with Matt, Ricky. So, what's happening, everyone? This is our Lockdown Beers with Ricky, Lawrence and Willy and Hannah, the Scottish boys. Well, Irish, Scottish, / I don't think you know what you are, do you?
Well, I'm just holding it up here for everyone else.
What-
Someone has to put in the effort.
What's your percentage split like? What's your ratio?
Oh, fuck, that's not good. Like, it's definitely, probably about 15-20% for the Scottish half. Let them have a wee bit. Let them touch the sides.
So what have you been up to on lockdown, boys? Have you been working? Have you been tossing it off? Fucking about with your cars, anything?
I have been pissed off because I can't get to the dyno. So to replace the lack of dyno time, I just stripped and undersealed the car, which is the worst job ever.
So is the dyno shut then?
Yeah.
Not
So it's
not a
going-
key worker, no.
No, well, not yet. I'm not saying, but something might happen in the next couple of
Yeah.
weeks. I mean,
What, an essential trip to Dino?
well, if I was going there to work, I'm a key worker, so I can travel. So if I just so happened to be
Drop it
going
off on the
via
way.
there, I could drop the car off. And
What, you've been-
you have to work from home if you can't work from the office. And well, to be fair, I could set it up and he could remote map it.
Garages can stay open anyway, so
Yeah. So it's one of them. You wouldn't want to put anyone else at risk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just the shitty thing, because I'll take all the risk.
Oh, the risk taker.
Yeah.
So what
Sure,
you been up to,
alright.
Ricky?
Not a lot. Work closed down and we're all into that furlough, so that's us going into week 3 of that now. So just been kind of sitting at home, chilling.
6-week
And,
holiday.
yeah,
Nice.
well, I'd rather be at work, to be honest. It's driving me daft now. It's
Oh.
just getting too much.
What do people in the dole do?
I don't know how to manage it. How on earth could you do it?
I'm literally running out of jobs to be doing at the minute.
Oh, you're not helping Lossa with the gardening.
Now that's her job, mate.
Pink job, that one.
Yeah.
We've done a good bit of seat time on Assetto, but even that's getting, you can only do that
Do
so
you
many
rate it,
times.
though? Do you rate it?
Assetto,
Aye. Like, is it worth doing?
I think it's good fun, but I totally disagree with Martin Wonacott's opinion. I don't think it makes any difference to the real
No.
life thing of it. It's totally different.
So are you with me when I said that you need to get as many laps as you can in at BDC rather than doing it on computer before you get there?
Yeah, definitely.
There's only Martin who said that, isn't there? Like, yeah, I only need 3 laps and I can win everything.
He's a bit older than us, so is he not? He
More
needs the
experience.
muscle memory. He needs to just get it muscle memorized for us. We can adapt.
Every track that I've done in real life and then done on Assetto or the other way around, they're always completely different. Like, you can nail it on a Assetto, and then you get down to, like, the Three Sisters was the first one I properly went for an Assetto before we went down.
Yeah.
And you got down there, and as soon as you leave the start line, you forget it all, and it's just learning it as ever again.
That's because no computer game sounds like a no shit 2J.
Very true.
Has it got all like the undulations and stuff?
What a big word, mate.
It's yours, isn't it? I think that one up here.
Yeah, that is my word, isn't it? I taught you that one. Undulations, yeah.
Yeah, so some of the tracks are better than others. Obviously, it depends who's made them and things like that.
So
How do we piss about in some of the smaller tracks where it just felt like you never got out of first gear? Like you go into first gear and you're just flying. Like
What, on the computer?
on a Assetto,
Right.
I just couldn't get any grasp of speed. I mean,
That's the problem.
I mean, you can maybe set it up to your own car, but like it just seems weird and out of proportion.
I couldn't drift it at all. I'm thinking about getting
In real life.
back. Once lockdown's over, I think you're gonna need to come and have a go on it, man.
Like from the pathetic go I've had, because I tried to set it up, but my computer's like an antique. It's a relic. Won't run it. So I tried to run it on the laptop. Pure shite. Forza with a joypad is 100 times better.
I'm with you on that.
Assetto was good fun once you get it. It is a new learning curve. It's totally different. It's nothing. You just don't get the sense of speed. Like coming into, it's always the first corner, getting the speed right for entry. It's just near impossible until you get the hang of it. It's yeah.
And you can just press reset all the time, so it
Yeah.
doesn't matter, does it? So you're just going to go faster. Faster.
What
So
about you? What's happening with your car then, Adam?
my car's ready to go, pal. I'm here, sat in it, getting a bit of seat time every
Have
night.
you fixed your hydro that you broke the other night?
No,
How'd you break a hydro?
Doing
I've been,
these?
because I've been sat here having a few beers, fiddling
Just
with stuff.
yanking on your handle flat out, killing
me-
some time.
Yeah, my shifter went going to reverse. You know, the button you press down on top,
Yeah.
that stopped moving. And then I broke where the bolt screws into your handbrake. So I'm going to have to take it back to Jason and get them fixed before round one, if it ever happens.
So you are not sticking to any mechanical parts of that car. You just leave it to someone else.
Yeah, I just do paintwork. That's it.
I'm so
Leave
jealous.
the rest to Jace.
So did you find an RB for that motor of yours, Matt?
For what, €100?
B92.
Oh,
We're looking
right.
for a motor for it. I was presuming you were
no.
going to stick something manly in it.
I'm sticking to a girly LS, mate. I'm not man enough for one of these RBs like you.
No, you ain't got deep enough pockets.
That's the other thing, yeah. I don't earn £89 million
You're speaking
an hour.
of the owner of the BBC, eh?
Yeah, that makes me royally skinned.
This golden mattress isn't quite as thick as Dave's, but
I'm gonna get it going. It'll be back.
and what are you going to do with it? Where are you going with it? I heard Eddie speaking that you might be wanting to go over to Ireland.
I'd go over there, yeah, and have a few beers. Drive the car as well, yeah.
Drive the car with a beer.
What else could I do in it? Do you know what I mean? I'm
Retro,
obviously not going to do BDC.
Retro drift.
Yeah, could do RDC. Might go back to
RDC?
Drift Cup.
Yeah, have you
From
done
Scotland, do SDC?
Could
in
nip
that
up.
225 road tyres though?
Yeah.
It'd probably help you out, that man.
Yeah, at least he could drink all the beers he wants.
Yeah.
Have you any of you two done the round of retro drift out?
I did one round the retro drift, but that was purely because it was a driftland. Driftland's handy for me to get to, and that is
Never.
like I've had a couple of crappy years for issues and teething problems.
They're not
Maybe
teething.
next
They're
year,
not
maybe
teething
next
if they
year.
continue that long.
You know, like it just never ends. Never ends.
That's
It's called
Skyline
the
Street, pal.
Well, now I'm on drivetrain issues. I reckon if with the current situation and the economy kind of crapping out, deals on things such as drive shafts have kind of gone few and far between. So now I'm in a situation. I had a plan for drive shafts, but I'm probably going to have to go for a set of GTR shafts. So if anyone has any GTR shafts for sale, please let me know. GTR shafts, I should say.
Have
But
you
probably
tried?
would have done that route for a while.
Have you tried Ross Bar for shafts?
I'm sure he probably won't sell him because I bet he seems to be like a handbrake clutch up guy.
Yeah. I know he bought them in bulk, so he'd maybe, even if he done you just a pair just to get it going.
Fair. It's one of the things, and it's where do you end? It's like where do you draw the line between how much you spend? You know what I mean? There's obviously there's the top end options, which are top money options, and then there's the budget options, which are kind of what we've been sticking to, which long term aren't really that budget.
Sometimes you're better off just spending the money straight away, aren't you? And
yeah,
doing it.
We had the opposite. We had the opposite on last night, didn't we? Phil Kenner on spending 20 pence on everything, and then David Garvey were like, yeah, whatever, just bang, 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 and everything twice.
I just want to stop lying in it under the pits. Like, I just want to go and drive it. Exactly what Adam said. Go and do a million laps while you can, and then have fun.
Yeah,
it's not too much to ask, is it?
It's too much. Even in the wet. Like, how the hell do you break shafts in the wet?
Driver error. I mean, how many shafts have you broke, Ricky?
One GTR shaft. But that's
what about you, Willie?
75.
I'm probably up towards the mid-20s.
It's got to be user error then. It's got to be,
mate. But he's on GTST shafts.
Yeah.
See, I
didn't actually realise until the other day when Stevie Fitz put up a dyno plot of his car, and looking at the two dyno plots, my car isn't a million miles away from how his car is performing. Like, there's a lot of power there, a lot of torque. Ricky can testify. Much better than our 2J.
It's a good car. Yeah, it's a good car.
So, boys, let's get into these questions. Who's winning BDC Pro and Pro 2?
Well, Pro's going to be me or Ricky. I'll just say that. Team Scotland are going to take everyone else down.
Yeah.
Pro 2, now that's a really good question because quite a lot of people have bounced about. I mean, there was a few people that were sort of top 10 got announced, and then I think you took Nereus out of the mix whenever he came second in Battle Royale.
Yep.
So, who's going to take the crown? Who's just moved up from Drift? Oh, Max Cotton's just moved up from Drift Cup, and I'm sure he's building
No, he's not up yet.
He's not up yet.
No.
Has Robbie Burgoyne locked in for the year?
Ooh, Robbie's
a very good shout,
man.
Yeah, that's a bit.
Is he doing the season?
Is he doing the season, Matt?
He is doing the season.
Oh yes, he's doing the full season. But he obviously had his back. He missed a few rounds, didn't he, this year? Last year, so he's back.
Yeah.
So, that's a very good point,
Robbie's he's a dangerous man. He's a pilot.
Yeah.
And if he gets that car working how he wants, that wee car can shift like.
Yeah. He's got to sort heating problems out, and he kept getting warm.
Yeah. So I don't know. You ever see the layout of with the two turbos sat above the head?
Yeah.
It's kind of shoehorned in there.
Yeah.
Bodywork stroke gynecologist. Like, I don't know. If he gets that wee car's dangerous. Who else is floating about there?
You only get one pick, Willie. Who are you saying, Mickey?
I'm saying Robbie Burgoyne for
Pro
2, yeah. Pro, I would like to think I'm in with a bit of a shot at it, but honestly, I can see Ollie doing it again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him.
See, the problem you have, right? Ollie's the way to Drift Masters.
Yeah.
Now, if Ollie's car plays ball, then yes, he could be at the sharp end of the stick, but look at Bagsy's luck.
Yeah.
Look at Matt Carter's luck, you know what I mean? Like, if your luck's not really there,
it could knock his confidence, couldn't it? If it goes
that's a lot of commitment. But then again, look at Matt Carter whenever he came back to Buxton. And I'd said, I was like, how the hell did you pull that off? He's like, oh, whenever you're dodging the walls at Plock. I mean, this is just a playground. I don't know. It's a lot of pressure.
Matt needed to come back. He needed a confidence boost, didn't it? That would it would knock his down.
Yeah, I think that you could do quite well, Ricky. Because talking after practice is done before we're going to qualifying, whenever you speak to anybody, spotters and stuff, they always say you've won practice. Like, you always seem to smash practice, show everyone up in practice, but then it's like you either push a little bit too hard or just not that quite enough. I think if you can get that happy medium, I think you'll be.
Should I bring in some? Should I get some trophies for winning practice? Do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Ricky's like, yeah, please, mate.
Yeah. It's strange
Trophies
because
and a couple of photos with the good girls in those new uniforms you got them.
Do you like that? I've got them on actually. Lower half.
I was expecting you'd be wearing one.
I can't fit into them. I tried.
I think, so is Vaskelis booked in for the year? What?
No.
Vaskelis, no. He's doing Drift Masters.
He wasn't on
His
the
name
list.
weren't on list though, were it?
Do you know what? Then he might not have done. He was.
I think he might be waiting for sponsors. I think he might be trying to get
that could be the thing.
sponsors.
I think he was struggling, but I hadn't chatted to him for a while. To be fair, I presumed he were doing Drift Masters.
Yeah. So you need to get on it. He's got time to save up now. I think he has
Finish his car.
No, if he's not
there's
working.
a pretty cool build on the way from him.
Yeah, it looks pretty
Obviously,
savage.
well, if he's not in the picture, any of the Irish guys coming over? I know there was a few Irish guys planning.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
Ryan Egan.
Oh yeah, Brian Egan's a good shout.
Yeah, but there's only a handful of the Irish boys do particularly well over here. Really seem to be consistent, and it's the same
Agreed.
what's going over there.
Yeah.
And I think it's the travel that sort of beats them down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Didn't beat
There's
Dwayne down though, did it? Or Jack and Connor.
Yeah.
Or Ricky. Ricky travels quite a way.
Yeah. I bet Ricky travels further than them lads.
yeah,
Like, it's closer for us to go to Mondello than it is to Driftland.
That's scary.
it's easier for it would be less like driving time for me to go to Mandela as well than it is to go to a lot of the BDC rounds.
Yeah. People don't even really see that. People think, oh, we have to drive north and it's terrible. Cry me a river.
It's the perfect answer now. Anyone who complains about lack of southern stuff, I just speak to Ricky.
Right.
Like, it's an easy thing. Shut
Look,
up.
it's
Yeah,
we
that's the
need
shit.
we need more Scottish stuff on the calendar. We could do
What
a
options have we got? What options have we got?
No kill.
See, I'll openly tell you on here now that I've chatted to Knockhill quite a bit. It won't happen. It won't happen anytime soon. It's the newish surface that they won't risk. They're happy to have some demos on, but not a full event. So unfortunately, boys, it's a no currently.
It's one track I've
Who do
never
we need to go
done.
and speak to? We'll go and protest outside his house while he's in quarantine. Just play like bang a drum or something for 3 weeks.
Right, seeing as you've got nothing to do for a few weeks, you could nip up and do that, pal.
What's that key? Just going, oh, wait a fold up here. I'll just go and turn the power off this house.
We could probably hold around there now quickly if we all keep us distance. No one will even know.
Realistically, how much damage are we doing to the tower? I
If,
thought it
well,
was just
we are
grass,
driving
but,
skills,
like,
mate.
I think it's more the stuff painted on floor and stuff, innit? It was battered after BDC used to go.
Yeah.
Like that, there's like that green bit, isn't there, on left-hand side, the slippy stuff.
Yeah, it's like I bet they try and tell you it's worth silly money, that paint, like what Silverstone do.
Yeah.
Hey, up, who's this?
That's Peter.
Peter Virense.
Peter.
So, do you want to tell us a bit about your drift history, boys? Where you started, how you got to where you are now? When did you start? What were you driving? What?
Who wants to go first? Ricky, crack on.
I got my first E36 at the very end of 2015. Was a 1.8 or 1.9, I think, is the technical size. I'm not too sure. Kind of baffled me. Totally baffled me with the different variations and combinations and ages of BMWs. But it was a 318. We done, I think it was one drift day in it, and then we got a 2.5 into it. Used that for throughout 2016, and then managed to get the SDC license when you needed a license. You don't need one anymore. Managed to get the SDC license in that car, and then got a S14, which had just a standard SR20 in it, standard power, everything like that. Done STC for a year, didn't do particularly well in it. Never really had the confidence and stuff like that in battles, always struggled with nerves and things like that, particularly doing qualifying and leading. Managed to get my way into one round of Drift Cup, which luckily managed to come, I think it's a top 8 you need, is it, to go to BDC? Yeah. Managed to get into the top 8 battle where I got knocked out, which then obviously got me to T-side for the final round of BDC in 2017, I think it was, where I managed to get my license.
So would you say that you fluked it to BDC?
I wouldn't say fluked it, maybe fast-tracked. Yeah, we done one round of Drift Cup, which, to be fair, wasn't even on the cards or planned until a couple of days before. We got a message. It was the night before. I think it was about 8 or 9 o'clock at night, saying that there was a space had come up. I was obviously on the reserve list. Can you make it? Now this was like 9 o'clock the night before. Car wasn't loaded, tires weren't on, no fuel, nothing ready. But we managed to get it together and go down. Got to BDC, got the license. First battle was against Slide driver Jason Clark. You'll probably remember the battle because I crashed into him on my first ever BDC battle.
No, you wouldn't crash into anyone, Ricky.
Not I do.
Decided to go out on T-side. The rain had started coming down, didn't adjust the tyre pressures. Also, this was a standard SR at the time, so we was running like 50 psi or something to try to get around the big corner. Went out in the wet, entered backwards into the back of Jason's RX.
I do remember that, actually.
Yeah.
I do remember that.
And then we've just worked on from there. Obviously, we've got the S13 now. Run a year with the SR again. Relatively big power SR. And then swapped into the JZ last year. Done a year with Driftland TV as a sponsor. And then after that experience, we haven't really had.
Who was in that team? We're both here in it.
It was
I don't
me.
remember the team drift.
I remember that. If someone did a 360, didn't they? And you all crashed or something.
It was myself, Mark Gemmell, the 350, which was involved in the team drift incident.
Was it Mark who did the 360?
No, Ricky, who did
What did you?
It was me.
They were parked back around the track.
Yeah. Mark spun out. I was leading, and Mark spun out, which I spotted. So I thought, you know what, I'll do a big smoky 360 across the finish line, not expecting him and I think
Christensen.
Yeah, it was Christensen to catch up quite as fast as they did. And by the time I'd done my 360, there was a 350 in the front of me.
Oh,
to be fair, that could have been a whole lot worse.
It what?
It could have been a whole lot worse.
Could it? What if it
Like,
got
as
out
bad
of
as
his
it
car
went,
as well?
it actually wasn't that bad.
It was a very expensive 360 for me and Mark. There was a lot of bent wise fab and bits and pieces, and yeah, not one of my best moments.
One that you'd like to forget about.
Yeah, definitely.
It was someone mentioned. I think Mac put something on the BDC Facebook page about team drift, and someone I saw a comment. Some fan put something about, oh, as long as no idiot does a 360 or something. I'm like, yeah.
It always comes up.
Great work.
So is that why you painted your car white, so nobody would know it was you?
Yeah.
I'm going to put that on commentary sheet so it gets read out each time.
I think it'll be with me for a while.
Bad man.
To be fair, I'd forgot about it till you just brought it up.
I had as well, yeah.
One of those learning curves.
So then you started on your own.
Yeah,
driving for yourself.
we had Driftland TV obviously for a year when it was Jeek at Driftland. We had our differences and we had our agreements. It wasn't one of the most successful sponsorships I've known of.
Do you want to tell us a bit more about it?
No,
I'm digging like a foot.
not like Marty Monaco, just won't let rip.
To be fair, it's much the same as Martin's case. They delivered on some stuff really well, and they done what they said they would do, but there was a whole lot of empty promises thrown in with it. Stuff that you would expect from a track that's sponsoring you. Didn't get the seat time.
I think everyone thought you had some sort of golden egg there.
Yeah. That was it. When we done Driftland around that year, everyone was coming over to me and saying, you must have had so much seat time on here. You must live here, basically, and that. I said, well, no, I still live 3 hours up the road, for one, and for two, I'm probably not getting quite the deal you think I am.
I swear, everyone thinks that because you put someone's name on the side of your car that they're paying your mortgage or something. Are you people for real?
Full arrive and drive, yeah. Easy life.
Aye.
I didn't realise Tarmac Sports were paying your mortgage.
Well, that's it. Oh, mortgage or paying for my car. You know what I mean? Pay for my
Bought your strawberry mojito, didn't they?
Flew it in. So what about your drift history then, Willie? Where did you start?
Well,
in fact, I remember you coming up to me at BDC, like the first time it was at Driftland, I think it were. You were marshalling, weren't you?
Yes, I was marshalling.
You come up to me telling me about your car and what you were going to do to it and stuff. And I was just like, all right. And then literally, a couple of months later, I seen on Facebook, like she added me on Facebook, everything you said you were going to do, you were doing it, and you were at Drift Cup absolutely killing it. I was like, well done.
Thank you. I moved over to Scotland 2004. I moved over. I had a Ford Sierra, so I had a 1.8 LX Sierra whenever I was 16-year-old that I kept at my mate's farm. And on a Friday night, a lot of us would come up and do a lot of diffing. Wee bit of cone work. Wee bit of cone work. And I left. I sold the car. Well, I had three Sierras. I had a 1.8 LX and I had a 2 liter twin cam and a 2 liter Pinto. Sold it up to move over here in 2004. Spent 9 years doing a 4-year degree. I had a great time. I loved the dream.
Plenty of drinking, yeah.
You can't remember.
So I think it would have been about maybe 2012, maybe 2013. I had bought a 200 SX off my friend at home, and I was always into it. I mean, I was always into it, but it was kind of weird because I'd moved over here. I was on my own, so I used to piss about. I mean, got up the M8 or up the bypass and had every roundabout up the bypass, and then move on type deal. And one day, I think it was the Scottish Car Show at Ingliston, because Driftland used to do the taxis there. G could organise for people to do the taxis there. So I went out and did the taxis. Or I went out as a customer and paid to do the taxis. I think it was like 30 quid for a couple of taxi runs or whatever. But I went out and Amjad, that used to work at Driftland, went out in his R32. And true to form, he spun on me around the back of Ingliston somewhere. Had a wee spin. To be fair, I was just curious because I hadn't really been. I mean, everything we'd been doing was literally donuts and figure eights. Like drifting hadn't really been a massive thing at home until that point. And literally, king of the cone work, figure eights, twin cams. Like I mean, going to Akadui and there's like 40 twin cams and 40 Sierras and a load of 325s. I mean, like, you could only dream of something like that now. But I thought to myself, I'm going to go over. So I went and did a bronze experience day at Driftland. Just because I had the 200 SX, I had my Causey, and I thought to myself, I mean, I just want to see how big the track is. Because like anywhere else, if you look at the track from the car park, it doesn't really look that big. But whenever you're on the track, it looks hella big. And I went and did a bronze experience at Driftland with Chizzy, Mr. Chisholm, who won I think 2017 BDC Pro-Am. And it was in...
You borrowed a car, didn't you?
It was Kev K's car, but it was the giant killer Paul McCarthy's car. It was Paul McCarthy's old V8.
John McCarthy.
That's it. It's John's And
What, is that not the same car as?
No. Andy
Who will?
Frost.
Oh no, that's different, isn't it?
No,
Yeah,
that's a different. So
totally
the two brothers have
Yeah.
E36s. But so I went out with Chizzy, did a practice day, and thought, you know what, I'm into this. It's a half an hour from the house, which is a no-brainer. Like, what else can you do? I would always want to do rallying, but you couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to hit the furniture. I mean, throwing cages in the car every couple of months? No, not my cup of tea. So I went out and I was looking in the auto trader. Oh, it was a Gumtree. It was a Gumtree at the time, and I found a 1996 Nissan Skyline 2.5 turbo a manual import for £1,100.
I was about to say, yeah, 1,500 quid.
For £1,100. I was
Back
a man.
in the good old days.
I was like, here, chap, gone, like, that's sold. Just go and delete that advert. And he was like, oh, you need to come get. I was like, I'm in Manchester. I'll drive up now and give you cash. Like, I'll take the car. So I bought the Skyline and just pissed about. Like, did a couple of things, did a couple of lock mods, and then.
Is that the same car you've got now?
That is the same car that I have now. So I've had that since, I think, 2014. So I bought the car, did a few mods to it, just went up, and we were killing it for seat time. I mean, like, we were getting like 13 rims, 16-inch rims into the car, and going to Driftland, like all part warms, all like £1.50 tires or whatever, free tires, anything, like literally smoking everything off and driving them. I was driving it there and back, and then I did Garage Fuckhouse Street Legal. I did that. I think I qualified like 6th and got knocked out in the top 16. And then the year after it was like Drift Cup. So I think it was 26. It was the end of 2016, and I got into Drift Cup. So I got on the reserve list for the last round of Drift Cup. And at Driftland, so the car, I put the cage in. I bought a cage, put the cage in myself, did everything myself. Took it there, ended up getting knocked out in the top 8. So I was a ball hair away. I undertook someone coming around the last corner because they were going really wide, and it was really dumb. I was like, yes, this is amazing, best time ever. And in reality, I fucked it. I knocked myself out. So 2017, managed to get a full season of Drift Cup. And I had a second-hand HKS turbo kit and like loads of second-hand bits. I think by this point I'd done 3 engines, so kept breaking ringlands, common RB problems.
Yep.
And kept breaking ringlands.
Get an LS, mate. Get yourself an LS.
Someday I'll try one, and I'll probably like it, but it kind of feels like cheating. So, 2017, went through the full year, had a couple of crap rounds rocking. I hate Rockingham. I'm going to say it out here. Rockingham is the shittest place on the world. Any car park is better than Rockingham. And whenever you roll into the first time I went to Rockingham, I was like, holy shit, look at this place. Grandstands as far as the eye can see, like a big giant tarmac road up to it. And then you realise it's like, you're not going in there, you're just going to the car park here.
Yeah, it's car park, yeah.
Really?
Enjoy, boys, yeah.
Really? This is the worst thing ever. So I was right. Rockingham's always been crap to me. Did really bad at Rockingham. That year at the final round at Driftland, I always seem to have a good bit of luck at Drift. I swear, people must think that I just go to Driftland every week. Like
it's a mix, isn't it? A bit Scottish, looking after the Scottish.
You know what I mean? I swear, like I hardly ever get to take my car to track. Normally because I'm fixing it or like impromptu engine upgrades or something. Like the engine's normally out of the car, or I'm doing something stupid that has no need to be done. And at Driftland, they ended up coming second. Somehow pulled it out of the bag, came second, got my BDC license. My first year at BDC was a wee bit hit and miss. I still had a lot of car issues, and I think the final one was whenever I deleted the CAS system on it. And
was that 2018 then, your first year at BDC?
Yeah.
Or 17? 18?
18. So 17 was Drift Cup. So I finished, because I came second at Driftland, I finished up 7th, which gave me the option to take my BDC license, which I took because... And I thought about this, and for anyone else that's thinking about it, it's really hard whenever you have to decide whether you take it or not. But in my eyes, if you, I mean, how are you meant to fly if you're surrounded by turkeys?
What are you saying?
I mean,
Drifting
if
drives
you
are
put
turkeys.
yourself into practice with the better drivers,
Yeah,
then you
you're
tend
right.
to be better.
100%.
And
It's the other thing is if you have a bad year, like a bad luck year with your car braking and stuff, then you're actually stuck in drift cup again,
Yeah.
or like you're stuck in the lower places when you could have moved up. I think Martin Wonnacott did that, didn't he? A few years ago, thought I'll stay down and
Yeah.
win semi-pro and absolutely annihilate everyone, and then had a really bad year.
yeah, and it's all it takes, you know. And exactly what you're saying about them boys earlier. It's like sometimes you just need a confidence boost.
Yeah.
I mean, I see if you do really well or something bad happens, like someone crashes in the wall and you end up stacking into them, it makes you a better driver. I mean, sometimes bad things need to happen to make you realise what's good.
Yeah.
But that was it. And then, obviously, 2019 had a good run. Had a pretty good run. Nice, clean run. Car didn't break too often. It was reliable. A little load of shafts, but they didn't really die on me at any point where it needed to matter.
Yeah.
And then, here we are. 2020 season started and we're flying.
In the pro class.
How did
both
round
of
one
you-
go for you, mate?
And I'm raging because I was like, yes, spent a lot of money in the car. We're at the sharp end of the stick here, you know. We've just come off a good season. We're headed hard, running on the ground. Like, nope. Yeah, here we are on the couch.
Where did you finish, Willie? Where did you finish at end this year?
5th.
5th. What did you get, Ricky?
I think it was 5th as well, yeah. Because Adam, you was 4th, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got some good drivers on this chat, haven't we?
It's scary because, you know, like there was never, like, I don't know, it's hard to say. Whenever you're actually driving, you don't really notice, but there's a few good results that put you there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's in BDC, it seems to be more consistency as opposed to getting podium all the time and that. If you can get consistent, like top 4 or even top 8, it really puts you up in the championship.
It's always been like that, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, because I didn't podium much last year, and I would like to think I would have done a top 4 finish if the car didn't break or if I didn't break the car. Yeah, if I didn't crash at Buxton. I would have liked to think I would have got a good bit further through the day.
Yeah.
But it's not all about coming first every time. It doesn't really.
Look at Louis Edwards.
Yeah.
Louis Edwards only, I think, had like 2 podiums. He was like top 16 or top 8 for like the first 4 rounds.
Well, look at Ollie. Did Ollie get?
Ollie did same, didn't he?
Ollie did the
Top
exact
16
same.
and top 8
He
and then
just
won last 2 rounds.
stole it.
Fluked it, I call it.
So, what are your
Hold out, Ollie. Fluked.
what are your most memorable drift moment? Like the drift day or whatever that you remember most, that stands out most, your best
Let
moment?
Ricky go. Willie does know but talk.
Here, the glass is empty.
Get us in the top up then.
I'm waiting. I've dropped the message.
That's a difficult one. Probably something that stands out to me the most, probably because I was the most nervous at it, must have been my first. Was it the year of Driftland TV? So that was my first year. Yeah, Driftland TV was my first year in BDC. We was at Teesside, and my first qualifying run, I got a 0. Obviously, that was one of my first ever BDC events. I thought, this is not a good start. You know, I was like, it's going to look really bad, and everyone's going to be thinking, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah.
Sitting on the start line for my second run, bricking it, but managed to go out, and we got, I think it was a 90, or not quite a 90, it was a high 80s, and topped qualifying, which was just like absolutely amazing to go from that really low place, be one of your first events, possibly not qualifying, to topping qualifying was just amazing. Obviously, there's been lots of high moments along the way, a lot of memorable moments, but I think that's the one that probably stands out just because it was so early on.
It's crazy how it literally takes like one lap, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? Like, you could have an absolute shit day. Everything could break. You could spend potentially thousands and literally do one good lap with one of your mates or whatever. And it sounds gay, doesn't it? But it's fucking mint. Like, it's good.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it's like.
It works the other way as well, though. Like, so at NEC last year, we done practice, obviously the Friday practice, and then
Did you win?
the practice in the morning, and we smashed it. You know, we got the line and all the clips and everything, and then it was me, Martin Wanacott, and Viscalis in qualifying all went out and got zeros on our first runs.
Yeah.
And we'd done the whole morning in practice, you know, twinning and everything. The three of us, no problem at all. All three of us, one after another, straight off first corner. And it's just it's over so quick.
That one little mistake in it, and then
It really
that's it,
sucks
your
being
day's
the last person to go out and qualify too. Like,
done.
I'd rather go last than first.
Yeah, I would.
no, I just want to go down, do a lap, and leave.
No, never go first, mate.
I mean, and after your second qualifying lap, you can literally bounce out of the car and watch.
Yeah, I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, but then it is always nice to be at that opposite end of qualifying because you know you're doing all right then.
Yeah.
NEC was mad though. Like the weather was just interesting.
Friday was so good, though.
I know, right? It was almost
Thursday and Monday, mate, were amazing.
Yeah.
So what's your most memorable drift moment, Willie?
So far, it's probably been top qualifying in pro.
At Buxton?
At Driftland, and blowing the diff up halfway around the second qualifying lap. So my first qualifying lap was like a 76 or 77 or something like that. But if you've driven Driftland and it's wet and it has those
when everyone was just spinning,
the
everyone was
rivers.
shit, like zero after zero after
there's like
zero.
two rivers that come from the high
Yeah.
ground to the centre, and as soon as you touch them, you just float.
Yep.
There's no rhyme or reason to it, but that's. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect the top qualifying pro-am, never mind a pro.
I think that were only like a 60 or something though, weren't it?
It was crap.
Yeah,
And that's
I
the
know.
second
I was,
moment.
The second one was
I was
like so much better.
I was quite close to back at Q, like for qualifying, and like just watching it, just going 0, 0, 0. Now watching everybody hit that water patch on entry, and I was just like, all I've got to do here to qualify is just drift round without doing it. So I just fucked off that first clip in the puddle and just drifted track, and I think I qualified like 20th or something.
You had to get like 7. If you got 7 points, you were in or something ridiculous like that. It's like,
Yeah, I think I
good
got like
standard.
a 12 or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
Savage 12.
it's for those brief moments that you touch that water, you're just a passenger. As much as you like to think you're in control, you're just hanging on.
So if your car's broke, you can pick any other driver on grid's car to drive at BDC. Whose car we having?
That is a question.
I'm needing Willie's again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really, I'll never forget that. I really enjoyed that. RB was always the way that I wanted to go. Jay-Z was never something that I'd thought of doing. But obviously, everyone says, and looking into it, RBs are more expensive to get set up and then to maintain in that. So it just ended up being Jay-Z. But to get a shot of Willie's car at Three Sisters, the noise in that thing is just phenomenal. It's just amazing. So yeah.
That's your pick. What about you, Willie? Whose car we having?
I don't know. I'd like to try something V8.
He's seeing the light. Look, there you go.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that I want the V8. I'm just saying that I would like to try something V8 because it's lazy. You know, you don't really need to work. You just sit there and just stroke the gas.
So
I'll
easy,
let you have a
mate.
go in my car, pal.
You know,
I'll let you have a go in my car on Friday at BDC.
I'd love it. I would love it. I can't help but think, you know, I mean, everyone says go V8. I mean, no replacement for displacement and all that. I'm a man. I stick a turbo on it and I replace that displacement with cool noises, fire that should be coming out of my engine. You know, it's kind of hard. Like if you look at the likes of Fiscalis' car, and it makes, I don't know, it just keeps working and making smoke.
What, the E30? Which?
Yeah. No. The 40. Well, it's not even this car anymore. The 46.
Yeah.
Any good?
No, I'm good. I'm back in the game. Something. I think the 30 probably takes a very, very special kind of driver to drive. But the 46 just seems so much more.
Question, pal.
Yours. I'm going to drive yours.
Mine?
Yeah, I'm going to drive yours.
I'll let you have
You've already beat me, so I need to take your car so you can't beat me.
Best get some drive shafts in stock, Adam.
Yeah, I do need to actually buy some, don't I? Yeah. One of them got a bit of a leak on.
You need to buy some spacers as well. Adam borrowed some spacers off me 18 months ago. Can I just use them for Autosport shit?
Oh man, you own Slide Motorsport. You think you can't give one of your top drivers, in fact your top driver, a set of spacers? Miserable man.
The thing is,
Jake's told me all about his sponsorship deals.
The thing is, Matt lent to me for Autosports 2019, and he didn't realise until he looked at his car the day before he went to Autosports this year. So it took him a full 12 months to realise I'd not given him back. So we've got money's no object build, engine, chassis, everything. What are we building?
There's no new Nissans. There just isn't.
Why don't you get us in a GTR?
Yeah, I mean, my previous idea of some sort of 406 drift monster. Yeah, you heard. Aye. I mean, I don't think it would have the street cred that it does in my head.
You just went down in my estimations there, mate.
406 HDI, tuned to the moon, no smoke, no poke, rear-wheel drive, reverse, nice cage. Maybe do it up like a taxi.
Yeah.
No, that just wouldn't have the street cred. I think. Well, what choice have you got? What is there that's new?
I don't know, mate. But
anything,
dream car. No one's ever gone to a Peugeot 406. Ever.
I mean, you're saying budget isn't an option, and that's
money's no object. You can build anything, and you want a Peugeot 406.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I'm done. Piss.
I mean, I'm going to keep the stock seats because they're comfy as. That's a mileage machine. You can sit in there all week. No bother.
What about you, Ricky?
I wouldn't mind a GT86 with some sort of RB or something in it. Something along that lines. But like Willie says, what is there that's new that's worth doing? New Supra, maybe?
What were you an RB? That'd upset some.
I said 4. Adam's already beat you. He's got his head 4 there. He's sitting in 1.
Yeah, no, I would go GT86. I quite like the look of them.
Yeah. So then, who's your favourite driver? Who's like the one that stands out to you? The one you look up to most?
I'm going to say Dwayne. The man's such a nice guy to speak to. You know, he's standing on the pitch, yes, all the time to speak to you. He'll show you around your car. There's no hidden secrets, no tricks with him. I mean, he doesn't fuck about when he's driving either. He's not the kind of person that would sandbag you or do anything daft like that. He's literally just an outright pilot.
I think Ollie Evans would have something to say about that.
Here, we've all seen Dwayne's in-car. I mean, you can't deny the proof.
Yeah.
So do you think Ollie's talking shit then?
Aye. Do you not see Dwayne's in-car? Was it Mandela or someone? And Dwayne's like hanging off the wheel with 2 arms trying to stay on track. That man is not trying to sandbag anybody. Sorry.
You got a bit of a crush on him? Nah. Willie's boyfriend?
I mean, I'm just saying I could probably take him on a square go. I mean, me and him, a couple of laps, judge fan favourite, RB versus RB.
Yeah, definitely be some noise like, wouldn't there?
You know. Even just his driving style.
He's a good driver. Like, it's just exciting to watch, and he's a good driver.
How many people have you seen gap and I mean Gap, Jack, James.
Yeah.
You know, and I spoke to him. He said to me, so he just got a sponsorship, I think, by Phil for a set of rear coilovers. And I was standing at Rockingham, and he says to me, he's like, here, go and have a feel of my rear adjusters and the coilovers. I went over and said, I can't move it. He's like, I've been seized for about 3 years.
Mental.
I mean, pilot
Absolutely mental.
setup.
He impressed me at Driftland on when BDC ran and they had that do on it the night.
Yep.
And we were all on banking.
Drinking.
And he jumped in his car and did like a fucking 110-point qualifying run. I was just like, next level.
Yeah,
Had a big crowd. Well, what about you, Ricky?
I'll swing it the total opposite way. I wouldn't say it's someone that I look up to as such, but it is a standout driver for me, is Ollie Evans. Not particularly because of who he is, but just the time that I was getting into drifting and into BDC was the time that he was starting to show. Yeah. And I remember watching him at Rockingham when he really come through, and to me that was just like, who is this guy? Wow.
Yeah.
It was, I want to do that. I want to be as good as that and come through as quick as that. On top of that, he's probably the main reason that I am now in BDC. We was doing Final Boss at Driftland a couple of years ago, and Ollie was there. I was still pretty new to drifting at the time, but I was out in the proximity queue with Ollie and Huxley and people like that, and I was speaking to him in the queue and that, and he says to me, you should try for a Drift Cup and see what happens, and you'd probably be surprised that how well you will do. And it was because of him that I went for the Drift Cup, and then obviously Drift Cup led to BDC, and he's now the guy that I aim to beat.
Yes.
He's
Have
the
you
guy.
battled Ollie? Did you battle Ollie this year?
I've battled Ollie. I battled him at NEC, and he beat me. I think I battled him at Teesside, and I think I beat him there, but I'm sure his gearbox broke at Teesside.
Didn't you go one more time a couple of times with him or something at NEC?
Yeah, we done one more time.
These boys put on some pretty serious battles. Like,
Yeah, I remember it being
these
very...
boys are like...
We done it one more time at NEC, and then he took the win. I went in a little too hot on the first corner and dropped the wheel. But no, he's the guy that I want to beat in BDC. Always has been, always will be. It's just he is that guy to me.
So there's a bit of rivalry there.
Who's that guy to you, Adam? Who do you always want to beat? Who's that guy to you?
No, not really.
Like too easy for anybody.
No, it's not me, is it? I'm a lover, not a fighter.
It's not a rivalry thing. It's just he's the guy that got me into BDC and that kind of driving. So it's just I want to prove to myself more than anything that I can do it.
Which you've proved now. So
yeah, I don't think there's any doubts there. These are very, very similar, though. These are
I would say that. Yeah, very similar.
He's the only person. And it's not because that I look up to him again. He's the only person on the grid that if I get paired up with in a battle that I am genuinely nervous having him behind me. I love chasing. I hate leading. But I've gotten to a stage where it doesn't bother me who's behind me. But if I line up next to Ollie, I will be incredibly nervous.
You can't don't let him play mind games with you.
That's it now. He'll be
play him straight back. Yeah. He's going to ride on that.
Fine that he'll be on the door. He'll push 120% the same as I will. Normally, I know that I will push harder and chase than 95% of the grid. But with Ollie, he's going to be pushing just as hard.
So, have you boys got any questions for me or Matt?
When's round one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to know. Adam, do you know?
I haven't got a clue.
Round one's Driftland now.
It's not looking good with today's announcement.
Right, I'm going to suggest, if this all goes Pete Tong, we sack off all our pit crews and we just go and do what is it, limited? So we limited to 50 drivers. We just live stream it. We charge everyone for live stream, so we get the drift and they get to sit at home and enjoy it.
There's options of things like that. It all depends on what the numbers are. All jokes aside, like you say, what do you need really? There's 40 members of staff. That could be, well, you can't even shave that down much really. So then you put 80 drivers in, each got 1 or 2 pit crew. You need like 300 people, 300 people. So we need to get
less than 500. You're all right.
Mate, no one knows. You can't even go within 2 meters of anyone at minute. So.
It's scary when you think about it, because if each car has 2 or 3 pit crew, I mean, there's the best part of 200 odd people.
Yeah. We need realistically, it needs to be less than like 300 people limit. But 300 people outside, if they're not going to, once the lockdown's over, let's say, so they've announced another 3 weeks now, haven't they, today? If after that, if we're okay to do stuff after that, but they might limit events, what are they going to limit? If they might put outside, it should be, you'd like to think outside they'll put a limit of like a few hundred people maybe, because otherwise a pub's not safe. Anywhere that you've got, do you know what I mean? 100 people outside is safer than 50 people in a pub. So no one knows, do they? We're just winging it through. We want round one soon as possible end of the day, but it's got to be safe on it. It's got to be legit. But yeah, we all just want to go skidding.
Yeah,
we do. So is that it, boys? Have you got else you want to know off Matt? Any BDC gossip out?
I've got no gossip for anyone. Don't try and interrogate me.
Awesome. What's your views on 5G?
I blame 5G for everything.
Is it you who's putting up masks up, Willie?
That's it. No, I don't touch masts.
In fact,
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah, it's like Mr. 5G, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't tell anyone.
How many masks have you fitted this week? 5G.
A dozen.
Well,
Normally in
everyone's on
populated
lockdown,
areas,
sneaking them up.
Put 5G around where vulnerable people are, elderly people, because they need 5G to keep them in check.
You know when I met Willie? You know when I met you in that random field? Is that what you were doing really? Installing 5G? It were all starting then.
Shh, don't tell anyone. It wasn't that random a field. Like, I'm sure it was near somewhere. Like, it was near 2 towns.
Yeah, where I live.
Oh, is that where you live? I thought you lived near workshop. Where we
were in
were?
Sheffield,
Was that where we were? I don't even know. I just I put the postcode in the sat nav takes me there. I go to do my job, leave. I don't care.
You weren't doing your job very much though, were you?
No, I actually did nothing that day. I did nothing. I sat there for about 5 hours and then went home because they were just being dicks. So I went home.
Oh, so you didn't actually kill me with 5G?
No, I did nothing. I literally drove to a field in the bottom of Middle England. That is Middle England. Is that North England or?
Wait,
Middle England.
Bottom of Middle England.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was near Alton Towers, and I would have went there if it hadn't been shut.
It's the south. It's the most south bit of the north.
Yeah, it felt pretty middle of the country to me. I mean, for the likes of me and Ricky, that's probably the middle of England.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you know? I've got a random one for you. Probably Ricky more than Willie. What's that track called? Is it Golspie or something?
Golspie.
What's that like?
For BDC.
I'm not going that far north, mate. Fuck that. I'm just thinking
fun. The weekenders are really good fun there. It's got a little jumping stuff like that in it, but it's not a big power track. It's just a good fun weekender.
How far away is that one from your house?
I don't know how far Golspie is. It must be 2 and a bit hours up.
Where the fuck do you live?
It's Inverness.
So that's your closest.
Inverness is about 3 hours north of Edinburgh, and then you're probably about another hour north of that again.
Yeah, so it'd be about 2 and a bit from me up, because I'm over in the east. It's actually, I think it's just as quick for Willie to get there as it is for me, because I need to head kind of back over before I go up.
Yeah, it is one of the shittest roads you've ever driven. They have average speeds everywhere.
Is it further up than, what's it called now? Is it Fraserburgh? Where's that?
It's a good bit further, yeah.
Yeah, Fraserburgh's on the east. This is on the west.
Right.
But you could see Nessie in your travels.
It's on the east.
I mean, you could see Nessie. I actually had a funny chat with Kevin Lawrence this morning about that.
About what, Nessie?
Hi, about Nessie, and I was
What a
asking him
random thing, yeah.
Well, it's basically I was saying it's like does an alligator feel like a snake? Like a snake? I mean, it looks like it feels kind of scaly. He was saying that an alligator feels kind of like a rock. You know, he was like, I would kind of imagine it to have a similar texture to to Nessie. And I'm like, well, I kind of imagine Nessie to feel like a furry unicorn. You know what I mean?
He's had too many strawberry daiquiris, this man.
So you actually just started messaging a Formula D driver to ask him if a crocodile felt like what a crocodile felt like.
Yeah, well, basically, he was telling me about Gatorland. So Gatorland is a wonderful place in Florida that you can go, and they accommodate homeless gators.
And you have gator chicken nuggets there as well.
Really?
Yeah, I went when I was a kid.
To Gatorland?
Yeah, they have like chicken nuggets that are alligator chicken nuggets.
Are they not chicken? Oh, they're in the shape of an alligator.
It were either that or my dad were just telling me that they were. And they weren't.
Dad were lying to you, mate.
But yeah, I should maybe ask Kevin Lawrence that.
You should have a.
We'll get Kev on.
Chat with Kevin.
Yeah.
What's he doing? Bugger all. Waiting for round 1, 2.
Time differences and stuff, innit? Matt don't like speaking to anyone after like 7:30.
Probably,
Well,
probably prime time for him right now.
Yeah.
He's just had his Lucky Charms because you can't get them over here because they're miserable and they don't like giving us numbers or sugar.
you can get them. You got to go to B&M Bargains.
What?
They have B&M Bargains in Scotland.
I don't even know if they're open anymore, sir. I've been stuck in this house for weeks. Getting cabin fever.
I couldn't
thought
tell
you were a
me.
key worker.
Aye, but like, I
He
haven't
just
really
tells
been
people he's and stays at home, furloughed.
Spreading coronavirus with his 5G.
I've got my tinfoil hat. I'm prepared for the worst.
Do you have to wear that when you're at work so it don't get you at 5G?
So I wear all sorts of funky stuff at work.
He's probably on 6G. He's probably in front of that.
Just don't be telling everyone my secrets. You know what I mean? Like I have serious internet powers here. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it, but we could download a torrent. I could watch the new Star Wars movie that hasn't even been created yet. That's how far ahead we are.
A time traveller.
I'm not going to go too far. No, I really couldn't be because.
What, you'd be better than this at drifting if you know all this shit.
Yeah, totally. I probably just wouldn't go. I would save my money and just not go. But it's fun, and I want to go back and hurry up and get rid of this shitty virus so we can go. That's the important part.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, look at this. Like, this is what I have to fucking survive on. Salad. What the hell is the word?
He's on his racing diet, trying to shed some weight.
Hang on, if you're on salad, that means you've been to shops.
Well,
salad.
I'm not going to tell my secrets, but we're losing a few pounds here to try and keep up with the other boys because my profile, my driver picture is horrible. Horrible.
What, a bit tubby?
A wee bit chubby, and I'm wearing Beezy's hat, and I look fat. I mean, but now
We've got all new photos this year. We need good photos for the new website. We've got like some cool stuff happening for live stream. We've got a lot of cool stuff.
The website is really, really interesting now. You've done a lot of stuff, but
yeah,
you need to do more.
What about the app?
What about the app? That's a great.
Don't even.
So, Matt,
don't even
question
talk
of
to me
the
about
day.
it.
What's the crack with the app?
Shit's gonna get messy soon. I'm not even talking about it.
I remember that people could vote on the.
A good what?
Could people not vote on your app?
You could do a lot of things originally on the app, but let's just say.
Here, do we need to shame some people? Because
I'm not publicly shaming people, not yet. But I've spent a lot of money on something I haven't got, and we'll leave it at that.
Right, we've been going for just over an hour, boys. I'll leave chat going, so I'm gonna have a beer with Willie. For the video, that's all it. So see you tomorrow, guys. We've got Ollie Evans and Josh King on tomorrow.
Oh,
that's boring.
See you later.
Over and out, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Stop recording.